Greta Thunberg is a world-famous environmental activist who started out as a lone protester, staging a school strike for climate change in 2018, and has since become a new leader and voice of millions of young people all around the world.
So what I'm telling you to do now is to act. Because no one is too small to make a difference.
International actions against governments.
Strikes she's inspired in the US and across the world.
People are striking today in over 150 countries.
The tipping point we are waiting for right now.
Change in moral attitude from people worldwide, politicians worldwide.
This is Greta. My name's Russell.
Greta?
Yeah.
Greta Thunberg was born on the 3rd of January 2018, at the age of 15, Greta decided to embark on her now famous school strike for climate. She tried persuading other students to join her but says no one was really interested, so she decided to go it alone. She protested outside the Swedish parliament, calling for stronger action on climate change by holding up a sign that read, "Skolstrike för klimatet," school strike for climate. Shortly after her first school strike for the climate protest, a few other students engaged in similar protests in their communities. They then united and organized the School Strike for Climate movement under the banner of Fridays for Future. The Fridays for Future movement rapidly spread across the globe. Thousands of young people began organizing climate strikes in their own cities, demanding that world leaders take immediate and decisive action to combat climate change. Greta's impassioned speeches resonated with a new generation increasingly aware of the environmental crisis and frustrated by the inaction of older generations. She spoke in a blunt and decisive manner, quickly becoming a global icon with millions of followers all around the world. After Thunberg addressed the 2018 United Nations Climate Change Conference, weekly student climate strike protests took place on Fridays around the world. In 2019, millions of students from over 1,664 cities and across 125 countries walked out of school to protest climate change in Greta's biggest strike ever. This strike followed a March 15th event, which also saw over 1.6 million people across 133 countries turn out at worldwide demonstrations. Greta then showed her commitment to the cause by choosing to sail on a carbon-free yacht from Plymouth, England, to New York City to attend the 2019 UN Climate Action Summit. The voyage took 15 days. It was here that she delivered her most famous speech. In her speech, Thunberg scolded the world's leaders as she passionately exclaimed, "How dare you?" to the assembled leaders, accusing them of stealing her dreams and childhood with their inaction.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Greta continued her Fridays for Future strikes throughout 2019. Her father said that it did not really interfere with her schoolwork, but it meant that she had very little time for herself because of it. Despite these struggles, she managed to graduate with excellent marks, 14 A's and 3 B's. Greta's activism has brought her international acclaim and numerous accolades. She has been invited to speak at numerous major global platforms. Her speeches are often marked by blunt and powerful language. Her straightforward approach and emotional intensity have made her a compelling and controversial figure, admired by many and criticized by some. Greta's impact on climate policy. Greta's influence extends beyond inspiring protests. She has also impacted policy discussions and public opinion on climate change. Her activism has helped to elevate the urgency of climate issues in the media and political discourse. She has met with numerous political leaders, including Pope Francis, and has been invited to testify before legislative bodies in various countries, including the United States Congress. In February 2020, Thunberg traveled to Oxford University to meet Malala Yousafzai, a Nobel Peace Prize-winning Pakistani activist for female education who had been shot in the head by the Taliban as a schoolgirl. In recognition of her efforts, Greta has received numerous awards, including the Right Livelihood Award and the International Children's Peace Prize. She has also been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize multiple times. She was included in Time's 100 Most Influential People and is the youngest person ever to be named Time's Person of the Year in 2019. She was also included in the Forbes list of the world's 100 most powerful women in 2019. As an adult, her protests have included defying police orders to disperse, defiant but peaceful confrontations with police, which have led to arrests, convictions, and one acquittal. Greta's approach to activism is driven by trust in scientific facts and data. She often emphasizes the importance of listening to scientists and making policy decisions based on empirical evidence. Her speeches and social media posts frequently include references to scientific reports and data, underscoring her message that climate change is a real and present danger that requires urgent action. Greta also advocates for systemic change and practices what she preaches by leading a low-carbon lifestyle, avoiding air travel, eating a plant-based diet, and reducing waste. She stresses that collective action and policy changes are crucial to addressing the climate crisis effectively. Despite her widespread acclaim, Greta has also faced heavy criticism, much of it mocking her as a naive teenager. Some detractors argue that her message is too alarmist or that she is being manipulated by adults with political agendas. Others have dismissed her because of her youth, suggesting she lacks the experience to speak on such complex issues. She has even been dissed by Donald Trump, who faced tremendous backlash for pulling the United States out of the Paris Agreement in 2017. Some climate change deniers and conspiracy theorists even went online to claim that she was funded and supported by powerful figures, and questioning how a 16-year-old inspired millions worldwide to protest. Those were, of course, just rumors without a single shred of evidence. But just like any major public figure, critics often fixate on and obsessively point out mistakes she's made in the past or previous errors in judgment. Greta has addressed these criticisms head-on, often using humor and her platform to challenge her critics. She has pointed out the irony of adults attacking a teenager for demanding a livable future, and has called on her detractors to focus on the science and the message rather than attacking her personally. Even at such a young age, Greta Thunberg's legacy is already substantial, and she continues to be a leading voice in the fight against climate change. Her activism has inspired millions and brought unprecedented attention to the climate crisis. As she grows older, her influence and impact are likely to expand even further, continuing to inspire new generations of climate activists. Greta's story is a powerful reminder that one individual, no matter their age or background, can make a significant difference. Her unwavering commitment, her ability to mobilize young people worldwide, and her insistence on holding world leaders accountable have made her a major role model, and many see her as a catalyst for change. Greta Thunberg's remarkable journey from lone protester outside the Swedish parliament to a global icon and activist leader speaks to her character and her total commitment to the cause. She did not use her fame and popularity to sell out or for personal enrichment, and has also shown intellectual honesty and open-mindedness by being willing to change her mind when presented with new evidence. Just like Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg, Greta Thunberg's story serves as inspiration and a reminder that we should never give up when fighting for a better future. Greta's story is also one of hope. It reminds us that even when all seems lost, there are those among us who are willing to step up, challenge the status quo, and stand up to the world's elite and those in power. Her story reminds us that with determination, courage, personal strength, and with the support of the virtuous, that sometimes we can make a tangible difference.